Hey, what's going on, church? So, just strongly feel, man, like the Lord want me to share and talk about how do we look to the world? How do we look? Paul talks about in Romans 6 being dead to sin, that the old man, the old woman is dead, and now we are alive in Christ. So the moment, church, that we surrendered our life to the Lord, to Christ, we are no longer supposed to look like the old man. So, especially in America, church, why do we still put on old jewelry or old clothing? I'm speaking spiritually, from the old man or the old woman. Why are we trying to still flirt with our old selves if we have truly died to ourselves and we are now alive in Christ? In Galatians, it says, it is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. I have been crucified with him. So who are we reflecting? Are we still reflecting the old man and the old woman? Or do we reflect Christ now? When we are in the workplace, who do we look like? Is it the old man, the old woman, or do we look like Christ? Do people see that used to know us in our past? Do they see a new man, a new woman? Or do they see the same person? Do they see flashes of a new man and a new woman and then it goes back to the old? Do they see or I can word it this way, do they see a roller coaster type believer? You know, church, we truly have to reflect the Lord. You know, we always want to say, as a whole, I'm speaking of the church in whole, especially the American church. We love to say, oh, it's dark. It's getting darker out there. Times are getting worse. All the Antichrist on his way and the Antichrist spirit and all that stuff is true. It is ugly, right? But in 1 John, I believe it says that as it gets darker, it gets lighter. You know, where sin abounds, grace abounds more. So what are we doing, church? What are we doing? If we are the light carriers, if we are supposed to be reflecting the Lord, then it's on us. We can sit back and talk about how bad it's getting, or we can do something about it. And one of the ways we can do something about it is just by showing a life of a man or a woman that has been redeemed by the blood. A life that shows like, man, a complete new person. That's one of the ways, or if I can argue that's probably the most important way to get people saved. It's just by showing, by example, especially those who've seen our past life. If they see like, man, Quan a whole different dude, or this person, man, oh man, she a whole different female, or this person, like, you know, that's when they gonna begin to have questions. That's when they gonna begin to ask like, man, I knew you 10 years ago and you a whole different person. Or I knew you 5 years ago, man, you not the same person I knew 5 years ago. What are we reflecting in our daily life? What are we reflecting in our home lives? That matters too. See, it's easy to go to church and lift our hands, praise, cry, shout, and we should do that. We should continue. It's important to gather. Paul said, don't forsake the gathering. I believe it was Paul that said, do not forsake the gathering. We got to gather together. You know, we should never forsake that as brothers and sisters in Christ. We should never neglect that. However, what do our home life show? What do our work lives show? What are we reflecting when, if I can word it this way, church folks aren't watching? What are we reflecting then? What are we showing then? What do our neighbors see? What do our co-workers see? What do our spouses see? What do our kids see? That's the game changer right there. When we live in 7 days a week, 24/7 fire, on fire for the Lord, That's when change is going to come to America. But it starts with us. In 2 Chronicles 7:14, if my people who are called will humble themselves, turn from their wicked ways and seek my face, then I will heal their land. It's on us first and foremost. Also in the Bible, it says that judgment starts in the house of God. It's on us, church. We have been given a mandate. We are the light of the world. We are the salt. We supposed to be the ones making the difference, not blending in.